Hello, sixth class. Now today we are going to do an activity, means how to taste for starch. How we can taste for starch. We have to take a small quantity of food item of a raw ingredient. Means we have to take small quantity of food as a raw ingredient. Now we have to put 2-3 drops of dilute iodine solution on it. We have to put dilute iodine solution on it. Observe if there is any change in the color of the food item. Means we have to observe the change in color of the food item. Did it turn blue black? If it turns blue black, then firstly you can see here is the iodine. Here you can see the iodine, and this is the potato, and they have cut the potato and they have put a drop of iodine solution with a dropper. This one is a dropper. Now is asking, did it turn blue black? Then if it turns into blue black color, it indicates that it contains starch. So you can say that if blue black color is there, then you can say this ingredient, it contains starch. And we have to repeat on other items to check whether they are having starch or not. And then you can fill in this table 2.2. Earlier also I have explained you have to fill in table 2.2. Now test for protein. Now how we can test for protein? We have to take a small quantity of food item for testing. Now again we have to take a small quantity of food item for testing the protein. If the food you want to taste is a solid, means if you want to taste a food which is in solid form, then you first need to make a paste of it or powder it. Means we can't taste in solid form, we have to make it in powder form or in a paste form. Grind or mash, or we can grind or mash a small quantity of the food item. We can grind or mash a small quantity of food item. Then we have to put some of these in a clean test tube. We have to take a clean test tube and add 10 drops of water to it. And we have to add 10 drops of water to it. And shake the test tube. And then we have to shake the test tube. Now using a dropper, now we have to use a dropper, add 2 drops of solution of copper sulfate. And what we have to add? We have to add 2 drops of solution of copper sulfate and 10 drops of solution of caustic soda. And how much we have to take? We have to take 10 drops of caustic soda to the test tube. Now to the test tube and shake well, and we have to shake it well and let the test tube stand for a few minutes, and we have to put the test tube for few minutes. Then after we have to observe that the content of the test tube, it turns violet. If it turns violet color, then it indicates presence of proteins in the food item. That it indicates the proteins in food items. Now test for fats. Now we have to test for fats. You can see here we have to take a small quantity of food item. We have to take small quantity of food item. Wrap it in a piece of paper and crush it. And what we have to do? We have to wrap it in a piece of paper and we have to crush. Crush means it to make in small pieces. Then take care that the paper does not tear. Means at that time when we are crushing it, we have to take care that the paper should not tear. Now strengthen the paper and observe it carefully. Then we have to make it again, strengthen the paper and and what we have to do? We have to strengthen the paper and observe it carefully. Then we have to observe, does it have an oily patch? If there is a patch of oil, then again next hold the paper against light, and we have to hold the paper against where the light is coming. We have to see there. Are you able to see the light faintly? if we can see light coming from that patch, so this means they are asking if you can see the light coming from that patch, then a oily patch on paper shows that, see, the oily patch on paper shows that the food item contains fat. Means an oily patch on paper shows that the food item contains fat. These all were the tests for carbohydrate, then then for protein and for fat. The food items may sometimes contain a little water. Sometimes what happen in food items, there is a little quantity of water is present. Therefore, after you have to rub an item on paper, then what you have to do, we have to rub that item on paper and let the paper dry for a while, and we have to put water that paper for drying. If there were any water that may have come from food, it would dry up for some time. If the water has come from food, then it will dry up. We cannot see any of the oily patch. This shows that this food item does not contain any fat. If the if the water dries up and there is no patch on the paper, then you can say that that food item does not contain any fat. Now, here the question arises that what do these tests show? Means what does these tests show? Are fats, proteins and starch present in all the food items that you tested? Means when we are testing, then you can say whether these things are, uh, you can say whether the fats, proteins and starch are present in all the food items. Does a food item contain more than one nutrient, or at the time you can check that that item contains more than one nutrient, either it has fat also and protein also and starch also. So do you find any food item that does not contain any of these nutrients? At that time you have to check any of the nutrients they have find or not. See, we tested food items for three nutrients. We have tested food items for how many nutrients? Three nutrients: carbohydrate, proteins and fats. Carbohydrate, proteins and fats. There are also other nutrients like vitamins, minerals that are present in different food items. And these vitamins and minerals are also present in many of the food items. And why do we need all these nutrients? What is the use of these nutrients? We will study later. Firstly, come to this picture. You can see this picture here. See here. Some sources of carbohydrates. See, you can write about some sources of carbohydrates. In your copy, you have to write sources of carbohydrate. That is first thing, that is sweet potato. You can see this is sweet potato. This one is potato. This one is sugar cane. Then this is melon, papaya, mango, maize, bajra, rice, wheat, and this is maize. Okay, wheat. These all are some sources of carbohydrates. So you can write in your copy, name some major sources of carbohydrates. You will write this all: sweet potato, potato, sugarcane, papaya, melon, mango, maize, bajra, rice and wheat. And you have to write in your notebook. Now, next picture you can see here. See this picture. This shows presence of fat. Sunflower oil. These are the sources of fat, and one is a plant and another is from we are getting from animals. See, firstly we are going to see these plant products from which we are getting the fat. You can see sunflower oil, groundnut oil. From groundnut we are getting, then coconut oil. From coconut we are getting, then mustard oil. From mustard seeds we are getting, then soybean. From soybean seeds, then these are nuts, uh, and these are till. Okay, these all are plant sources from which we are getting fat. Now come to animal sources. These are the animal sources: ghee, then meat, fish, cream, milk, butter, eggs. These all are sources of fats and we are getting from animals. Now, here you can see in this picture also again. Firstly, what do various come this side, and you can see the proteins from which some sources of proteins, plant sources and animal sources. See some sources of protein. You can write, this is beans. These are beans. Then soya beans, peas, gram, moong, tur dal. These all are the sources which we are getting from plant, and from these we are getting proteins. Then come down, you can see here, these are the sources of protein from animal, uh, meat, fish, egg, milk, okay, and paneer. These all are the sources, animal sources, which we are getting, and from which we are getting proteins. And so today you have to write all this in your, you have to write about all this in your copy, that which are the sources of protein, fats and carbohydrates. Tomorrow we will continue with the what do various nutrients do for our body.